Well, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Man, yes. Okay, so we have some interesting things to talk about. First, let's talk about your exhibit. Is this your first exhibit?
Yes.
For solo?
First solo exhibit.
Oh my God. Are you nervous? A little
Yeah.
bit. You're like, I'm petrified for the record.
I'm worried about feedback.
Mm.
I'm worried about turnout. I'm worried about a lot of things.
Which is normal. I understand that totally. If this was my first exhibit, I would probably be just as nervous.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like some really good things are going to happen. I mean, your work speaks for itself. For everybody listening and viewing this, it's going to be Saturday, November 19th. It starts at 7:30. And it has a very interesting name, this exhibit. It's Majesty Madness Movement. I like that, the 3 M's. Can you break that down for me? What is that? What do those things mean for this?
To me, the Majesty draws from the muses I like to use in a good number of my paintings. Madness, my mind is all over the place. I have some pretty creative ideas and messages and creative ways to try to get them out there. So, I just like to have fun creating these pieces. So, Majesty Madness Movement. I like to draw from color and just whatever comes to mind. If I can try to put a message into it, or I like sneaking messages into my work. So this can happen.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I noticed that from your work. A lot of times you will use color and shapes, and I like how you put things together, and I love that it's not just about viewing something, it's also like a deeper like meaning with it and things like that.
I like to get people to think.
Yeah.
So I want to just give them the answer.
What are you hoping that people take away from Saturday at 7:30 on time?
I'm hoping that people have a good time. I'm hoping to get my name more out there because I'm not one to be in a crowd or the point of attention. So I just want to throw my hat into the really good art community that we have in the city. Honestly. So that's what I would like my goal to be.
Yeah, and what's so dope, this is why I love meeting artists, because like you guys are kind of like in your own world and you guys do some crazy, amazing work, but then you're so quiet. And you talk about being an introvert, which I get it.
I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it.
You're doing good.
I have some slip-ups, but yeah.
You're working on it, and that's what matters. I try to help my introverted friends because I'm an extrovert, but I'm a closet introvert. And so I try to help because
I
know. Because my natural introvert like in me is like I just want to be home all the time.
Yes.
But then it's like I gotta be out and about and like socialize, and it's hard. Like, what do you tell people? What do you say to people? It's hard to like have those conversations.
I try to get on the common ground. I try to see where we relate. And honestly, most of my conversations with people, I'm getting information. I'm asking questions. I want to know either what they do or how can I do something they're doing, or how to get to a level they're at, or it's some information that I'm trying to take for myself to take back home to the cave and ponder on.
Yeah, no, and I can understand that. What are you, I would have to say, like, for a lot of the ways that you use like color and you use shapes and stuff like that, like, where does that dynamic come from? Because the way that you do it is very unique.
I like to have like organized chaos, so I like just a lot of use of color with honestly no rhyme or reason to it. If it just looks good to me, or if it feels right, then that's just how I'm gonna leave it. It's a ton of paintings that I paint and I don't like it, I paint over. This painting here that's on the wall probably has another painting under it, so it's a lot of trial and error and just going with how I feel. I feel the way today and I'll paint something and I'll leave it and I wake up the next day, and if I don't feel that same way, then I'll probably just paint over it.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, is that a part of like the overthinking, analyzing mind?
Absolutely.
Because that's where I'm at.
Yes, absolutely. Because I definitely would just leave it and start something new. And I would think, do I like this? But honestly, it's something I gotta get out of the habit of doing, because my best pieces, or the ones that I like the most, are ones that I honestly didn't put a lot of thought to. I just kind of
went for
mostly off feeling.
I love that. Yeah, I for everyone listening and viewing, we were talking off camera about being natural overthinkers.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if it's a disease, because a disease is like a dis-ease. So I'm like, okay, it kind of fits a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like overthinking actually helps me. Like, do you see it helping you?
I think that I'm to the level of overthinking that. So it is levels. There are levels to it.
I see. I didn't know this. This is new.
And I'm overthinking. I'm gonna fly right now. So
There you go. That's perfect.
I will analyze and overanalyze, and I will think, and then I'll get to the point where it's helpful, and then I will continue to do so too. It's detrimental. So thinking about an action to take, I will start to think like it's the right action to take.
Right.
At the end of the day, I took no action.
Yes, being paralyzed. Yes,
that's
same.
I consider it a strength, but it can be a weakness at times as well. So I'm just trying to master that, honestly.
Look, absolutely. And you know what? You're doing a good job, because being in an interview and being asked questions is like one of those perfect moments of like, okay, am I overthinking? Am I not? Am I extroverted? I'm pulling it out and it's working and it's doing. But I love it too, because there's so many artists that are introverts, or, you know, they're always overthinking something, and you're showing them that you can show up.
Requisite to be an artist is
you
gotta be mad awkward in front of people. Because I only know like a handful of artists that are true artists, but you know, they're still like really people person. So I don't know.
It's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance, hands down. So, and we'll get there, For everyone that's out there who's introverts, overthinkers, we are here for you, and we can't wait to see you on Saturday.
Support system, support group. Here on Wednesday.
I know. Our orientation's on Saturday at 7:30 at Launch Media. So to get on with this though, there's a little bit of controversy behind your work. And you know, we see some comments online, things of that nature, about your work and the meanings behind it and what people assume. Have you ever had someone come up to you to talk about your work and what it might mean to them in a controversial way?
So I've never had anyone come up to me personally and say anything controversial, but I have had, like you said, comments about some work may have been sexualized, but that's never my intention. So that's always interesting to see, and at that point I kind of take a step back and I see, I can see why you would say that.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of any of the pieces that I've had.
Yeah, and I could see that. And that was one of the comments that I did see, and I was like, oh no. But I wanted to, and because I'm gonna make my own assumptions about certain things, but I want you to explain, like, when it was mentioned that some of your work might be sexualized, like, what were your thoughts about that, and tell us, tell us more about that.
Honestly, I was kind of turned off from it. That's never my intention or my motive to make anything sexualized. So to hear that, it was kind of jarring. But like I said, after taking a step back and looking, okay, I can see why you would say this.
And what's your purpose for a lot of people who might think like, oh, this is being sexualized? Well, what's your argument for that? Like, what are you trying to convey?
I think it varies piece by piece. I think I'm just being appreciative, showing appreciation to a group that isn't really appreciated much. So I think that's important to me, and it's not the only message I want to share. So for that to be
Like what people say and stuff is like.
Yeah, it's not the feedback that I want. So that's something I need to figure out and work on how I can address.
Yeah, and I think talking about it more often and stuff like that, you know, showing the work and, you know, telling people like, well, this is what my perspective is and this is where I'm coming from with it. And not in a way that you have to provide a rebuttal for the United States of America, but more so of like, this is where I sit with what I'm doing versus like, okay, if you guys want to think what you want to think, that's totally fine.
Right.
You know, but I think that argument comes up because Black women are sexualized. And I think depending on the author of whatever is around that narrative or whatever, really depends on where someone is coming from. Because like how I was saying offline, and for people listening and viewing, we were talking about this and how basically you can have an artist who might think one thing of someone's work or whatever they're displaying, they're doing what they're doing with their work, and it could come off a particular way. But I know that as my Black brother, I knew that it was an appreciation of beauty versus, oh, here's another artist just trying to sexualize my body as a Black woman. And so because I felt like I knew that, I didn't know until just now because you confirmed it. But it was my assumption that that's how you meant it.
I'm glad I was able to say it before you asked the question, because I don't think it would have seemed genuine if that was my response after the question was asked.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm glad I because it's something that I overthink about. So,
You're right, I feel you.
Yeah, I don't. That's not the message.
Yeah. No. So we'll and I think honestly, you know, any news is good news, or I mean, I feel like any news can be good news depending on how you angle it. Yeah, and I feel like I would use it, man. I would just keep using it, like, hey, because it's a talking point and it's an opportunity to educate people. And I feel like within our Black culture, what gets stripped of us is the education. And when you walk in rooms and you want to do certain things, it's like, oh, I want to be able to educate you versus you making these certain assumptions and stuff like that. Yeah, and I feel like your work, it does that a lot for people. You know? You can see it that way. Now you can have that awkward conversation, like, it's not about sexuality, it's about beauty and this and appreciation and Black culture.
Honestly, it's kind of frustrating. So many more important messages I'm gonna get out there that for that to be something that comes back is like, I got bigger fish to fry, you know? So. Yeah,
and what are some of those messages? Because there's a lot of really cool things that you do talk about with your work.
Some of the messages, I'm big on individualism, being yourself, because I kind of struggle with that growing up, trying to fit in and things like that. And so I just stopped giving a fuck, and then that's honestly when you kind of get into your groove and everything just feels right. Betting on yourself, being yourself, doing things you love, those are the messages I want to get out there. So when I hear like, oh, you're sexualizing women in your work, that it's irritating, to say the least.
Yeah, I could tell by the pause.
I realized I was taking too much time.
No, you're good. What do you feel like, what tricks did you use, I want to say rather, what tricks did you use to like become more of yourself and authentic to you and just kind of pushing past that pressure to be something else?
Just the feeling, not feeling right. Like, you know when something feels right, you know when you trying hard, and I just want everything to feel natural. So tricks or anything, I mean, I just, I like quotes. They say be yourself, everybody else is already taken, and it's really true. Like, why try to mimic or copy or be something that you're not when it's not where your interests lie, it's not what you love, it's not who you are. So, and that's where depression and all that other stuff comes from. I think that's like your your consciousness, your psyche, whatever you want to call it, your spirit, kind of fighting back when you are perpetrating and thinking and doing something, being something. And I think that that's where those type of mental battles can go wrong. And I think that's, like I said, I think that's where the depression and stuff comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally relate to that for sure. Do you have like a certain mind frame that you go into when you're creating your work or like thinking of a new piece?
When I'm thinking of no, honestly, I don't try to sit and think about a piece. I'll wait until I'm inspired, and then I'll try and think what I can do with that inspiration and see what I can draw from it. But I don't think I sit down anymore and say, what can I think? What can I draw today, or something like that. I think the only time something like that happens is like if I'm commissioned to do like a mural for the city, like, this mural is about kids in school, so I'm like, okay, what can I do with that? But as far as my own personal work, I think I just get inspired from random things.
That's dope. And like random things like walking outside and the leaves are blowing ever so slightly.
Funny you said leaves, that's the first one I was gonna go to. Like, I'll be outside and it's brick outside now, so there are no leaves, but when the season's changing and I like red or brown, I like that brown or that red, maybe I can add that to like one of my backgrounds or something like that. Or yes, I'm inspired from song titles, song lyrics. A lot of my paintings will be titled by like song lyrics or a song title or album I like. So I'm inspired by different things, yeah.
And what piece is like your favorite piece? Because you got a lot.
I always say my last piece is my favorite piece. So it's between this one here on this wall. Actually, I love every color they mix to make you, and one that'll be at the show Saturday.
7:30 at Launch Media.
Called I usually read before bed, so I like those two. No, that's a lie. I really like Double Dragon too. So I'll just settle on I love every color I mix to make you, because I just really like that one.
Oh, okay. And what's the largest installment you've made? Because I see some ones and I'm like, how is he doing this? Like,
I think that
he's saying everything. The afro is just right. The dress would be just right. I'm like, how does he do this?
I think the biggest one I did was 8 feet by 10 feet, and that was for the city, and it was down by the pier. They have that outside volleyball court. I'm not sure if it's still there now because they've been moving pieces around a bit, but I think that may be the biggest one I've done so far.
Wow.
So and I always look at those people that get to do like a whole building and they got to use the lifts and everything. That's crazy. I would love to do something like that. So in due time, I'm sure I will. But
for sure.
Yeah, that's 8 by 10 so far.
That's so dope. And like, what are you hoping for over the next, because we're about to go into 2023.
We are. Time is flying.
It's so crazy. I can't even believe it. Like, so what are you hoping to do and accomplish as an artist in 2023? Besides less thinking. No. Or overthinking.
I want to be able to, number one, practice my craft. I feel I'm getting better, and it's just due to me learning patience. I used to have a lack of patience as far as finishing paintings, and if I don't like the phase I'm in, I'll stop and I'll start something else and I'll finish, or it'll get to a point where I won't like it. So just getting through the parts of the painting that I don't like, I just need to learn more patience. So especially with oil painting, I just transitioned into oil painting, and it takes longer, and it's a more detailed task, and you have to be mindful of time management, and it takes forever to dry, and It's a lot different than acrylic. So just getting better at my craft and spreading my name, like I said, through the art community, not just the cities, but like everywhere. I like to take it more serious than I have been. And I mean, that's everything, paintings, writing books, illustrating, so a little bit of everything. I just want to be able to express myself creatively and to be able to feed the people I care about, all of it, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you're like me, sitting at home, overthinking and processing your life
Every day.
right? Every other hour. What are you proud about?
What am I proud of? Man. That's a good one.
Yeah, take your time.
I think I'm proud of the fact that I'm not a people person. I'm not a extrovert. I'm not like any of that, but I'm still out trying to do it. So just I think I'm proud of the fact that I can be myself. I think I'm proud of the fact that I'm proud of my talents, and I'm proud of where I know I'll be at the end of everything, as far as a career and legacy and everything. I have really big plans for myself, and I don't have any plans on failing, so that's kind of what I'm proud of.
Ooh, y'all better heard. Y'all heard that from Mr. Dillard. I don't have no. I love that.
You gotta speak things into existence, and
you over here spitting bars.
People are so. I can't speak for people. I'll speak for myself. I used to be like real down on myself, like real negative, and you get to keep the titles you fight for. So why fight for something negative or put any energy into that? So that's what I'm trying to do, just direct my energy to more positive places. Because you know, as an overthinker, how quick it is, how quick those thoughts can go the wrong way. Rarely do, and again, I can't speak for everyone, I speak for myself. When I'm in my overthinking mode, rarely do I overthink, and it's about great things, you know. It may start off good or whatever, but yeah, always what if this happens, what if that happens? So yeah, I'm trying to just dispel all that, because I've spent a lot of years thinking about, it won't work, things will go wrong. Like, let's spend some time soon, and see what happens when I think things will go right. So that's something I'm trying now.
Yeah, well, shoot, man, I gotta say, I'm proud of you. On different levels. Like, I obviously so proud of the work that you're putting out and the messages that you're putting out behind your work. And then also just as an introvert, extrovert, I'm proud of you for coming and talking. You know what? The one thing I love about introverts is that y'all have the ability to say nothing. For me, I have to say something. No, it kills me to keep my mouth closed.
It depends on the situation. So that's something I picked up pretty early. And that is a benefit to overthinking, because it's like, should I say something? What would you say? What would their reaction be? Did you get anything from saying that?
Ooh.
Yes or no? So don't say nothing at all. And I'll go through that in like 5 seconds.
Wow. But to wrap this up, man, I'm like so thrilled for Saturday, 7:30 p.m. right here first exhibit and many, many, many more to come.
Yes, first solo exhibit.
I'm so excited for you. All the pieces are gonna be here, and we're excited. Anything else you want to say? Blast out. You out here making quotes, Instagram quotes.
I'm just looking forward to Saturday and everybody who's coming out to support me. I appreciate you. I hope you will have a really good time. I'm looking forward to see what you think about my pieces. So come on, join us, Launcharts, Saturday, November 19th, 7:30 to 10:30 p.m.